What's up, everybody? It's Jamel Gibbs. Welcome to another video. In today's video, I want to share with you how to insure your real estate investing deals if you're doing creative financing. This doesn't apply if you're doing lease options, primarily because there's a specific way to execute the lease options with insurance. In fact, I'm actually going to share with you exactly how to do that on this particular video as well. The information that I want to share with you is really geared toward seller finance deals, subject tos, and wraparound mortgages. And there is a specific way to handle the insurance if you're focusing on lease options as well. And like I said, I'll be sure to share that with you as well. So the first thing I want to mention is, as a brief disclaimer, I'm not trying to give you any insurance advice, any legal advice. What I highly recommend you do is contact an insurance agent, a professional, a local real estate attorney to get more information on that. I'm just sharing with you in this video exactly what I do in my real estate investing business. Is it the right thing to do? I'm not sure. You got to find out for yourself. I'm just sharing with you what I do because it works for me in my business. And I've been doing it for a very long time. So that should tell you something. On with the information that I wanted to share with you. First and foremost, you have to choose the right company when it comes to doing your creative real estate investing. And if you deal with a company that understands real estate investing in general, where maybe they'll have landlord policies available, maybe they have certain policies that are more beneficial for you as a real estate investor, then those are the companies that you want to be doing business with because they understand the processes when it comes to seller finance or some other type of creative real estate investing insurance strategy. So the company that we personally use in my real estate business is the National Real Estate Investors Insurance Group. Let me repeat that. It's the National Real Estate Investors Insurance Group. That's NREIG for short. And you can catch them at nreig.com. So recently I received several questions from multiple people that asked, how do I insure a subject to deal? Or how do I insure the creative real estate investing deal? So that's exactly why I wanted to create this video, because I think that a lot of people will benefit from this information. So I'm going to provide you with a step-by-step process on how we do it. I want you to be sure to take notes. If not, then go ahead and watch this video as many times as you need to in order to understand the process. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump in. So the first thing that you want to do when it comes to insuring, let's say, a subject to deal, and we're going to go through each creative strategy separately so that you can have an understanding of how it actually works. But when it comes to insuring a subject to deal, the first thing you need to do is get a binder. You need to get a quote from the National Real Estate Insurance Group or any other type of insurance group that handle investing types of policies. You need to get an insurance quote or a binder from that person. Now, we're talking specifically about subject to investing right now. And once you have that binder, once you have that quote, the next thing you want to do is make sure you contact the bank that is holding the note. They're holding the mortgage for the seller. You want to contact them with the consent, with the authorization of the seller, in order to be able to introduce yourself as the management company that is doing business with the seller. Okay, and there's a reason why you're going to do that. I'm going to explain that in just a minute. You're going to see how that all ties in. Third thing you're going to do is go ahead and send the new policy information over to the bank. So number one, you get the new quote, you get a binder from the bank. Number two, you get consent from the seller to be able to contact the bank. Number three, you send the information over to the bank, and you're sending it as the management company that is now managing the property for the seller. Okay, so that's the first three steps that you want to take care of in this entire process. Next, once the new policy is active, you need to cancel the old policy. Now, once you cancel the old policy, make sure that the bank is still listed as the first lien holder. And that makes sense, right? Because the bank, they're holding a note. You want to make sure that they're insured as well. They're going to be listed as the first lien holder. Then what you're going to do is make sure that the seller is listed as the second lien holder. So the seller's name is still on the insurance policy, right? And that's not going to raise any red flags. The last thing that you want to do is make sure that you're listed as an additional lien holder as well. Now remember, you contacted the bank initially as the management company. Again, this works really, really well for us. It's not going to raise any red flags when they see your name on the insurance policy, primarily because at the end of the day, if you just introduce yourself as the management company and now you're on the insurance policy, it makes sense to the insurance company or the bank, rather, that's handling the mortgage for the seller that you're on the insurance now as well. All right, so that's one way to do it. Again, just to recap that, regarding subject twos, you want to make sure that you get a new insurance quote, which is basically a binder or a quote, same thing. Get the authorization from the seller to be able to contact the bank. Make sure that you send the new policy information over to the bank. Once you do that, and that policy is now active, you go ahead and cancel out the old policy. And on that policy, make sure that the bank is listed as the first lien holder, the seller is an additional lien holder, and you're listed as an additional lien holder as well. And that should be able to get you insured on, let's say, a subject to deal or a wraparound mortgage. Now, there's another way to do it, right? And it's by using land trusts. Okay, so there's two specific ways that we like to do it. And when it comes to the land trusts, we specifically like to use them with wraparound mortgages. And that's what we're going to talk about right now. So when it comes to the wraparound mortgage situation, what you're going to do is have the seller change their name as owner of the property over to a trust. Okay, so let's just say that their property address is 123 Main Street. You're going to have the seller, John Doe or Jane Doe, change the ownership of the property from their personal name into a trust. Now, it's perfectly legal for them to be able to do this without raising any red flags. It's not going to cause any due on sale clause with the bank at all. As a property owner, you have the right to change your personal name off of the title into a trust. Okay. And what you want to do is make sure that you're the beneficiary of the trust on the other end. We'll talk about that in just a moment. But all you're going to do is change the name from your personal name, meaning the seller is going to change their name from their personal name into the trust. I personally will use the property address with trust at the end. Now, once you do that, you're going to name the seller, again, as the beneficiary of that trust. Then you're going to name your company, your LLC, as the trustee of that particular trust. Finally, what you want to do is add your company as the insured for the benefit of the trust. This is a much cleaner way to do it without raising any red flags. And this works with wraparound mortgages, and it also works with subject twos really well as well. So if you're in a situation where you're trying to get a creative deal insured, I would personally use the latter. I would use the land trust strategy first. And if you're not comfortable using that, I provided you with two ways. You can use the other way where you can actually add yourself as the management company and then take it from there. So that's how you would do it with wraparound mortgages and subject twos as well. So how do you do it when it comes to regular seller finance deals? Well, this is one of the easiest ways, and the National Real Estate Insurance Group, they handle plenty of deals like this for me over the years as well. So when it comes to seller finance deals, this is just like getting insurance as if you were going to the bank. So all you would do is make sure that the seller is listed as the loss payee on the insurance, and you want to make sure that you pay some insurance at least a year in advance. All right. So if the policy is, let's just say, $2,000, make sure you pay the $2,000 in advance. Do you have to? You don't. You can do it on a monthly basis as well. But just make sure that the seller is listed as the loss payee. But this is just like going to a regular bank because the seller is becoming the bank rather than you going to get a mortgage from a regular bank. Now, how does this work when it comes to lease options? Well, it's really simple. The owner should keep their insurance in place, but in addition to that, you want to make sure that they get a landlord policy as well. Then finally, on the other end, if you're staying in the deal, let's call it a sandwich lease option type of deal, where you're basically going to lease the property from the seller and then go ahead and sublease it to a tenant. Then you want to make sure your tenant gets a rental policy as well. So that's how you insure creative deals. Really simple. What I recommend you do is go through this video again, watch it a couple of different times so you can have a clear understanding of how it actually works. It's not complicated. I think people overthink it. People overcomplicate the situation. What you really have to do in order to get good at it is just do it. So I hope you have the information that you need in order to insure your creative deal. And I'm looking forward to creating more videos just like this. If you have any questions, let me know so that I can continue to provide you with the value that you need in order to go from where you are right now to where you want to go in your real estate investing business. Listen, like this video, share this video, subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and I'll see you guys on the next one.